We are gonna move Adam into a bigger jar today. A lot of you have asked me if it's possible to just move your starter that you've been making into a larger jar. Absolutely, I'm gonna be doing that. As you can tell, I've done that with Eve. She's in a very big home, but we are gonna get Adam into a bigger jar. So what we're gonna do, Adam hasn't been fed in 24 hours or so. So I'm going to take him out of his original home here. I'm going to get him into this other jar. I've been getting so many messages from you that have been making your sourdough starters and baking your first loaves of bread with our recipe and having so much success, and I'm so happy for you. Adam has been an incredible starter and giving amazing rise to the loaves that he's made so far. So I'm so thrilled. I'm gonna feed him unbleached all-purpose flour. At this point, I used him yesterday to bake a loaf of bread, so we do not need to discard. And if you're bulking up your sourdough starter and you have a little bit at the bottom of your jar, don't discard, just feed right on top of it if you're trying to make it bigger. So I'm using a measuring cup, but I'm not necessarily gonna measure. There we go. I would say that was about 3/4 of a cup of flour. I encourage you, once your sourdough starter is active, to give it a try. It's really liberating when you don't have to be so meticulous and measure anymore when you get comfortable with your sourdough starter. Once you're accustomed to it, we're really going based off of the consistency of your starter anyway. You really don't need a whole lot of your starter to build off of it. Room temperature filtered water. Mix him up in his new house. This is a 64-ounce jar. I have some linked in my Amazon for you if you want to get the same size. And you want to make sure to get it mixed really well as to not have a bunch of lumps of flour in there. Scrape down the sides of our jar a bit. We've got the thick pancake batter consistency going on here just by eyeballing it. If you accidentally add a little bit too much water, just add a little bit more flour until you get the consistency you want. If it's a little too dry and thick, add a little bit more water until you get the consistency you want. So we're gonna put his lid on and put him next to Eve. And now after a few hours, we have definitely doubled in size, and I have room to build off of him in the future if I want to.